Everybody doing tonight, man? It's Tuesday night, but it's still time to get right, man. It's never too late to come to the liquor store. Never too early in the week to come in, get your hand, and participate. We're gonna have communion out here, man. So I appreciate everybody for coming over to the liquor store and showing love to the channel. As you see by the title, we're gonna talk about Devin White and his trade request. And we're also gonna talk about another trade that occurred. Jeff Okudah got traded from the Detroit Lions to the Atlanta Falcons. And we're going to discuss, did the Dallas Cowboys do the right thing by getting Stephon Gilmore? Would it have been better to get a younger player you could have kept for multiple years? Or do you prefer the veteran experience and the leadership? So, we're going to talk about that. Hey, Stephen Harrison, what's good with you, my boy? Appreciate you for coming to the liquor store. NFZ, I see you. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. So before I get too far ahead of myself, everybody please go ahead and hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button if you have not already joined the channel. We're trying to grow the page and get up to 1,000 subscribers. Right now we're at 690 people, and we're trying to get up to 1,000 to get the page monetized so we can invest back into the channel. Also, if y'all do not know, I am doing a raffle for a Dallas Cowboy jersey of the winner's choice. It's only $5 to participate. If you cash out $5 to $Hennythemoor, you'll get an entry. And we're doing this all the way from now until the 25th, which is the day before I leave for the draft. So if you want to participate to get you a chance to get a Dallas Cowboy jersey of your choice, all you got to do is cash out $5 to the Cash App, and you'll get your entry, and we'll do the drawing on the 25th. But yeah, let's jump right into it, though, man. So as you saw earlier, Devin White, former 5th overall pick, has requested a trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, I don't know what it really is about. It could be financial. It could be the fact, that they're no longer going to be contending for Super Bowls or probably making the playoffs, since Tom Brady is gone. Of course, Rob Gronkowski is gone. There were even whispers that Mike Evans could be, shipped out at some point. So, they're going into pretty much a rebuild over there, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Devin White has requested a trade. And the question now comes to, it's really a twofold question, if we're being honest, man. Would he make the Dallas Cowboys a better team? That's the first part of the question. And then the second part of the question is, can the Dallas Cowboys actually make it happen? And when you look at a guy like Devin White, even if you were planning to take a linebacker with the 26th with the 26th overall pick, I don't believe there's a linebacker in this year's draft that is, better than Devin White, even with Devin White having a down season to his standards. So we're gonna break down some of the numbers surrounding Devin White. I'm the numbers guy. We're gonna come over here to the liquor store. We're gonna pull up. We're gonna talk numbers. Right? We're gonna talk numbers. We're gonna talk analytics. And we're just gonna talk about the cold hard facts around a player. This ain't always about opinions or anything like that. The numbers say what the numbers say. So we're gonna take a quick look at some of the numbers around Devin White, and we're gonna make up our minds. Devin White is technically an interior linebacker, so he technically is a middle linebacker, but he can also line up all around the field. He can be used as an edge rusher. He can play in the middle. I finally found you, Henny. What it do? Q-Ball, what's good with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over to the liquor store and showing love to me, my boy. I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and break down some of these numbers on the board, Devin White. So I'm just gonna hit the screen share. Booyah. Click on his performance for 2022, and y'all should be able to see what I'm seeing right now. So when you look at Devin White, he had some like pretty good overall numbers, right? When you just look at his numbers at face value, he had some pretty good overall numbers. He had 91, solo tackles, and he had 23 assists. So, that puts him, at about 114 if my math is not incorrect. So he had 114 total tackles. He forced 2 fumbles. He did not have an interception, but that's fine. He's a linebacker. I don't need him jumping up getting 100 interceptions, anything like that. Is it a swap for LVE? I definitely think he's a better player than LVE. And I definitely do believe that. And when you go down here, you look at his overall grades, though. This things like this is why they say he had a bad season. So overall, right, despite him being this player with a high pedigree, he only graded out as a 45.5 overall. As a run defender, he did not grade out well against that as either. Coverage was really lacking as well. But as a pass rusher, it looks like he did damn good. When you look at stops, though, and if you don't know what the definition of a stop is, basically is a play where the defensive player beats the offense. So maybe they tackle them short of the line of the game. Maybe they make a tackle, at the line of scrimmage. Any play where it's deemed the offense was not successful is considered a stop. So 50 times he stopped the opposing offense last year. So, he may not have some other glamorous stats, like his run grade isn't all that great, this, that, and the third, but overall, he stopped the offense 50 times last year. He forced 2 fumbles, and he even had 6 sacks. The issue, however, is he missed 16 tackles, right? So, that's part of the reason why his run grade would be down, right? You're missing tackles. You're not stopping the running back in the hole. You're getting shook off for extra yardage in the run game. That, of course, things like that will bring your run grade down. And then when targeted in passing, well, he's a linebacker, right? So I take this with a grain of salt. I only need them to, play a little bit of zone here and there. I don't really want my linebackers running with wide receivers or tight ends or running backs like that. But passer rating was 120.5 when targeted. So, he ain't like he put up great statistics in that perspective either. Hey, Dwayne Brown, what's good with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over to the liquor store and showing the channel some love. I really do appreciate that. Hey, Eastside Hero, what's good, my boy? Our resident troll is in the building. I appreciate you for coming to the liquor store. Even though you're a damn Texas fan, it's still all love. I appreciate you. Glad that you came over and rock with your boy. So yeah, so Devin White, man, is not the best performance, this year. But the beautiful thing about him is that we have plenty of data on him. Right? This is not the first year that he played. So, in his rookie season, he made the all-rookie team. So he played pretty well then. The 2019 season, he was actually an all-pro selection. Oh no, that's the 2020 season. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, I'm up here just saying this. Let me just pull up his resume and I can just show you that. I'm gonna get these years wrong because of course, I'm not a damn Buccaneers fan. I remember his accolades offhand, but let me get that pulled up and I'll tell you exactly what year all this shit happens. One, two, here it go. All right. I found it. All right. So I'm going to say it correctly this time. In 2019, he was selected to the all-rookie team, so he played pretty well. He was considered the best, one of the best rookie linebackers in the National Football League. The very next year, in 2020, he was a second-team All-Pro, meaning they voted him as, they thought he was the second best linebacker in the National Football League that year. In 2021, he was a Pro Bowl selection. Also, more positive stats in his favor. He has had at least 120 tackles the last 3 seasons. In 2020, he had 140. 2021, he had 128. And 2022, he had 124. So the last 3 years, he has consistently put up at least 120 tackles. So I like him as a prospect and as a player. Like he has the size, he has the adequate speed to be a contributor on a championship defense, as you saw, right? Because he was a Super Bowl winning linebacker. Like he was a starting middle linebacker on a championship team. So, he has that pedigree. He's been playing in the playoffs a lot, because he's been playing with Tom Brady. And listen, I know we tore him up when we played him. We did. Like, we abused Devin White when the Buccaneers played the Cowboys in the playoffs this year. But, a guy of his ilk, with his pedigree, with his athletic ability, in a Dan Quinn coach defense, I can see nothing but positive things happening, in that regard. Giving Dan Quinn another former first round pick, giving Dan Quinn another former All-Pro, you can only help your team. So it's not even a matter at this point if he's a guy the Dallas Cowboys should be interested in. Talent-wise, they should be very interested in Devin White. Right? He's only 2 years removed from an All-Pro selection, only 1 year removed from a Pro Bowl season, a former top 5 pick. But when we actually talk about, these things that can actually make it happen, like the draft capital that you have to give up to get him, or the contract that you have to end up giving him, then it becomes a little murky, right? So I don't believe under any circumstance that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could get a first-round pick for Devin White right now. He only has a 5th-year option left on his deal. This is it. He'll be a unrestricted free agent after this season. So, there is no guarantees if you trade whatever you want to trade for him that he won't be a 1-year rental, right? So you will have to trade for Devin White and then turn around and extend him. See, I need that run stopper. Yeah, we definitely do need a run stopper. I definitely agree. We do need run stoppers. But I'm also going to say this, like, Devin White is better than Leighton Vander is. And it's also, part of the defense he was in. So he's coming from a 3-4 defense. They were playing him in a 3-4 as a guy that could put in the inside and on the outside. So, like, his snap count is going to vary. But if he's playing strictly middle linebacker, I do trust him. And he gives you some versatility. So it's really going to be about scheme fit. He can play within this 4-3. I certainly do believe that, especially with Dan Quinn and with the way that we already have sort of a hybrid front too. So, there are downs where he will be a true middle linebacker in our defense, and there are downs where you can ask him to rush the passer. So, you never have too many pass rushers, but me eyeing him as an actual upgrade over Leighton Vander is, that's why I would be interested. But, we'll talk about the logistics of actually making it happen. So with only a year left on this deal, right? They're not going to be able to get a first round pick, right? That's out. There's no, you got to remember, a first round pick is guaranteeing that you get a top 30 player or a top 32 player, right, for the next 5 years. You get a top 32 player in that year's draft. You get to control their contract for the next 5 years. So that would be a huge problem when it comes to tackles for loss. Yeah, because we're gonna have all kinds of speed on that field if we were to get Devin White. If Devin White ran like a 4.42, I think he ran a 4.3 at his college combine, at his college pro day. And then Michael Parsons is the same. He ran a 4.3 at his pro day. So there's a lot of speed right there at your linebacking core. And then they're not super little guys either. Like he's a 237-pound man. Like he's very stocky. He's very strong. So, I wouldn't mind having him out there on our team. Like I wouldn't mind having him out there on our team at all. But so you wouldn't be able to give. I don't think they can get a first round pick because you only have 1 year left on that deal. And it gets a little stressful after that. Second round pick, probably not. I mean, what did Roquan Smith go for? What do they have to give up to get Roquan Smith? Let's use that as a starting point. Because they were in a similar situation. Okay. So they got a second and a fifth for Roquan, which is still a little rich, right? It's still a little rich, but they definitely gonna get a first round pick. So I think the same thing. Yeah. I think it'd be like a second. I think it'd be like a third because I ain't gonna lie, Devin White is not Roquan Smith. I think Roquan Smith was a better player. But you know, if we're just talking about similar players getting traded and what will receive, they'll probably be the template. So if they got Roquan Smith for a second and a fifth, and we don't think that Devin White is as good as Roquan Smith, probably a peg underneath him. Let's say they wanted a third and a fifth, right? Let's say that they wanted a third and a fifth for Devin White. I would do that. Like the trade, the capital is not going to be that bad. Pretty much what I'm trying to get at. Because Roquan Smith went for a second and a fifth. If you don't think Devin White is as good or can get the same thing, make it a third and a fifth. So like the capital that you would have to give up for him would not be too bad. The issue comes in when you actually have to pay him. Because when you look at his pedigree, like I said, made the all-rookie team, made Pro Bowl, made an all-pro, was the starting middle linebacker on the Super Bowl team. He has pedigree, and when it's time for him to get paid, he's going to want to get paid like that. So, it's really going to come down to who is not going to get signed so you can sign Devin White for a long-term deal. Is it going to be Trayvon Diggs you don't re-up? Hell no. I wouldn't do that. Would it be Micah Parsons? Hell no. I wouldn't lose Micah Parsons to get Devin White. Because you got to look at, because you got to think about it. Like, Devin White has never been paid before. He is just now finna come off his rookie deal. So let's use, again, Roquan Smith, best available linebacker at the time. His contract ended up being, let me see what Roquan ended up signing a 5-year, $100 million contract, with $45 million fully guaranteed. So, you can possibly go out there and get Devin White because I don't think the trade package is going to be what holds up something like that happening. It's going to be the fact that he's going to want to be $100 million linebacker because there's I don't think there's too many 5th overall picks that don't want to get paid. This is not a veteran linebacker that's going to be on his 3rd deal. This is a 5th round. This is a former 5th overall pick that ain't never got no money before, right? He ain't never signed no big massive contract. So he's going to probably want to reset the market, and so is his agent. Right? They're going to be the matter of fact, I know he's going to try to get some money because this is going to be his agent's first time getting a big cut, a big percentage. Because when you sign these big contracts, the agents get a nice little cut of that. So he's not going to be coming over here playing for peanuts or playing for pork and beans, whatever hell. Yeah, he ain't gonna get paid in Dallas, but he'll get paid somewhere. So that's pretty much where it comes down to. It's going to be all about the money. Like you got to pay Trayvon Diggs right now, right? You got to pay CeeDee Lamb. You're finna have to pay Micah Parsons, and you're also going to have to pay Dak Prescott. So you got 4 heavy hitters that are coming up for contracts. But other than that, we need to go in on these lines because we already got Reynolds and other holes we had. Yeah, I definitely would like a big sloppy body defensive tackle. I would love to get a guy like that. So yeah, so it's not gonna happen. When you just look at the numbers and you see everybody else that gotta get paid, it's not gonna happen. Dak Prescott is gonna get a nice deal when he gets his extension. CeeDee Lamb is gonna get top wide receiver money because he made an all-pro team. Trayvon Diggs is the same. He's an all-pro player. He's gonna get his money. Micah Parsons is an all-pro player. He's gonna get his money. Why would you come in here and say some stuff that can't happen? Because you my guy, but we also talk numbers over here. I like mafia movies and stuff, right? Well, in Dallas, Dak Prescott is a made man and untouchable because of his contract. Because the Dallas Cowboys just restructured Dak Prescott's contract. So regardless of if the sun rises in the sky next year or, if the world ends, Dak Prescott is still going to make $59.4 million because you already restructured his contract. Oh, that's my loc, man. Like he good. He be coming in here trolling. He be saying that stuff to upset me about that. But he good people, Dwayne. Like this my boy from back home. So let him make it, man. But yeah, but Dak Prescott, he has so much dead money on his contract, you can't cut him because it's gonna destroy your cap. You can't trade Dak Prescott because he has a no trade clause, and he also has a no tag clause. Right. So Dak Prescott can do whatever hell he want. You know what I mean? Like Dak Prescott is untouchable. And Dak Prescott got a damn good agent. So, I mean, he's won 61 games, made multiple Pro Bowl selections, has set 20 Dallas Cowboys records. So, and we're talking about Devin White. Like, we're talking about why we won't be able to go get Devin White. Everybody else is going to be able to get paid. You actually save money. Well, because you do realize at this same point of his career that Peyton Manning had the same playoff record, right? After 96 games, Peyton Manning was 2-4 in the playoffs. Drew Brees had only one playoff win at the same point of their careers at Dak Prescott, right? So I'm not saying that he's them, but I'm saying like you can't just give up on a quarterback that put up all-time numbers like Dak Prescott. Why not risk it? Ask the Browns why you don't risk it. Ask the Browns why you don't mess with the quarterback position. And this is the thing, like you remember the last time the Dallas Cowboys attempted to get a first-round pick quarterback, it was Paxton Lynch. Do you not remember that Jerry Jones tried to trade up against Paxton Lynch? And then he also tried to trade up against Johnny Manziel. So the last time the Dallas Cowboys have attempted to get a quarterback in the first round, we all know how that happened. And this is the thing, like Dak Prescott, in league history, he's 8th all-time in completion percentage, he's 8th all-time in passer rating, and he's number 9 all-time in touchdown to interception ratio. So like all the guys in ever laced up and played the NFL, there's only 7 guys ahead of him in the most important passing stats. And when you look at win percentage, he's in the top 25 as well for qualified guys that played enough games. So the only thing that Dak Prescott has not done is winning the playoffs, right? But because of the numbers he's put up, because of his consistency as a player, you would think that if he gets enough attempts in the playoffs, he will eventually get there, right? That's just the same reason why, it took Peyton Manning to year 9 to win a championship. It took Drew Brees to year 9 to win a championship. It took let's see, who else? Oh, Matthew Stafford. It took Matthew Stafford 13 years to win a playoff game. And of course, in that same season, he won a championship. So the only thing I'm saying is when a quarterback has top level production, you just don't give up on him. I know it gets hard, it gets frustrating, for the team not having overall success. But the Dallas Cowboys have not won a championship in 27 years, and Dak Prescott has only been present for 7 of them. So Dak Prescott is not the overall reason, why the Dallas Cowboy organization has not been successful. In fact, the Dallas Cowboys have had top 10 quarterback play for the last 15, 18 years, however long you combine Tony Romo and Dak Prescott's career, however long that may be. So, we've had good production. We had good production from our quarterbacks. It's the overall team that has not won, front office down. So, also when you look at his playoff numbers, he has 15 total touchdowns to only 5 turnovers and completing like 63% of his passes. So Dak Prescott has actually played overall pretty damn good in the postseason. He just has not won a lot of games. Because remember, Dak Prescott's very first playoff game when he was a rookie, he threw 3 touchdowns, threw for 300 yards, and scored 31 points. But he lost a shootout against Aaron Rodgers. Right? Then, he played well enough to beat the Rams, in 2018, but the defense allowed almost 300 yards rushing. So, yes, Dak Prescott has played bad, but the only 2 games that you can say Dak Prescott was bad in were the 2 games against the 49ers. who were the number 1 overall defense the last 2 seasons. So, like if you just look at Dak Prescott's playoff numbers, excluding the 49ers, like he has elite level production even in the playoffs as well. Hey, shout out to you too, to my boy Dummy Talk though, man. I appreciate you for supporting the channel, supporting your boy, man. It means a lot. What's good with you, Neil? I see you. I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the channel. But yeah, so like Devin White is not gonna happen. Yeah, he played bad, and listen, he threw 15 interceptions in the regular season and he threw 2 interceptions in the postseason, right? But that's neither here nor there. We know for a fact because we use advanced analytics that 7 of Dak Prescott's interceptions came on what Pro Football Focus deems non-turnover worthy plays. That means either the ball actually bounced out the hands of his wide receivers or something fluky happened that did not, was not directly called by Dak Prescott for the ball to be turned over. And also, we have these things called anomalies, right? You just mentioned that Dak Prescott threw 15 regular season interceptions. You do realize that for Dak Prescott's entire career, he only had 65 career interceptions. So literally almost 25% of Dak Prescott's career interceptions came in this one season. So almost a fourth of Dak Prescott's career interceptions came this year. So that's fluky, right? You don't go from only throwing 50 interceptions, your entire career to throwing 15 in a season. And then we're not gonna sit here and act like the man didn't break his damn thumb and then come back 5 games later. So it's not like he was completely healthy, played all 17 games and was bad. I mean, I highly doubt it. History seems to show. Man, he said my boy Dwayne with the with the headshot. He said at least Dak ain't trying to get massages. Oh shit, man, y'all be wilding, y'all crazy. I rock with y'all though, man. I do, man. All right, thumb on his throwing hand at that. So it's not like Dak Prescott was completely healthy when all this stuff was going on. As a competitor, as a guy that does not like to make excuses, of course, Dak Prescott's gonna go out there and say, "Yeah, I'm fine." What the woo? But he also said he was fine, when he had that rotator cuff injury, and he ended up having to have an offseason procedure. So like these guys are gonna always say they fine. You know what I mean? They gonna always say that they good because they competitors. But yeah. But now that we talked about Devin White and why it's not going to happen financially, let's talk about a trade that's happened in the NFL. We're going to talk about a trade that happened, and the reason why I'm even going to bring it up is because the trade was for similar assets by for the same position. And y'all already know how I actually feel about it because I went crazy when we made the move. So I like the move that we made. But we're gonna look at a similar move that we just made, and we're gonna see if some of y'all would have did it differently. So hold on, let me close this out. I'm gonna share the screen, and we're gonna talk about this. So as you can see, the Falcons have acquired cornerback Jeff Okudah from the Lions for their 2023 5th-round draft pick. All right, so Jeff Okudah is a player that had a lot of hype surrounding him coming out of college. A lot of people and I know this has not occurred yet or has not panned out. But a lot of people were saying that Jeff Okudah could be the next Deion Sanders because of his physical skill sets. Um, yeah, they were really hyping this boy up. And I know a lot of people wanted him down here because he is a Texas kid. He's from Grand Prairie, Texas, went to school at Ohio State, and he was the very first corner taken, back in 2020. And as a matter of fact, I think he was like the 3rd overall pick or something like that. Matter of fact, Jeff Okudah was the 3rd overall pick that year. So I know his career has not panned out, but what do y'all feel? Would y'all have taken a young guy like Jeff Okudah with physical skills, and he's still only 24 years old, or would you have? Or do you prefer the move that we made, giving up a 5th round pick and getting Stephon Gilmore, who was older, but he was still one of the better cornerbacks in the league last year when you look at all the advanced numbers, and brings a plethora of playoff experience and know-how. And you already know how I feel. Like the Dallas Cowboys did the damn thing when they got Stephon Gilmore. Like, no offense to Jeff Okudah, I believe he still has the opportunity to develop into a good player down the line. But Stephon Gilmore was the obvious choice. Stephon Gilmore is one of the few cornerbacks in the NFL history who was able to win a Defensive Player of the Year award, and he's made multiple Pro Bowl selections. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been on several playoff teams. So, like, he's done everything you can imagine as a defensive back. Like, he really is going to be a guy when he hangs it up is probably going to make it into the Hall of Fame. Like, I really feel that way about Stephon Gilmore. Like, he's a bad man. So I feel both of y'all. Like, I like the fact that we got Stephon Gilmore, and just to show you, a little bit more, we're going to actually show you Jeff Okudah's production and why it was not that good. Remember, he was just drafted in the same draft class, if I'm not mistaken, as Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, he came out of the same draft class as Trayvon Diggs in 2020. So let me pull up his statistics, his grades, and we're going to actually show you why his ass got traded. Because remember, I like how we added over 6 years of Super Bowl experience to this team this offseason. Facts. But yeah, we got Brandon Cooks and we got Stephon Gilmore. So we did the damn thing on both sides of the ball. We're being honest. JC Cowboy, what's good with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the channel. Oh, also Dwayne Brown and everybody that's in here, I need to give y'all an update on the raffle. As everybody know, I am doing a $5 raffle for a Dallas Cowboy jersey. Right now, the leader in entries is Regina Green. She has 20 entries. Oh, Dwayne Brown, you are second on that list. You have 9 entries. And then DC for Life and Michael Atri are tied for 3rd best odds of winning the jersey. They have 8 entries. So I appreciate y'all for coming through and showing love to the channel and participating in the raffle. And remember, we are collecting raffles until the 25th. So you can enter as many times as you want. My only request is that you only send though while I'm live, so I can be clear and transparent with everybody entries and what's going on. But if you want a chance to win a Dallas Cowboys jersey of your choice, just send $5 to the Cash App, which is $Hennythemoor, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win that jersey. But yeah, so let's take a look at Jeff's production, man. Because Jeff ain't live up to that draft spot, man. That's why that boy got traded so quick. So here's stuff, man. And listen, like, this last season was his best season, and it still was not that good. So solo tackles among defensive backs, he was 9th overall. He had 1 interception. He was targeted 65 times and allowed 40 completions. All right. So overall, he graded out as a 59.4. All right. Run defense with 74. He did good in run support. Pass rush, I don't give a damn. He's a cornerback. Coverage is the issue. 54.4. Your sole job is to pretty much, cover. So he didn't do good in that regard either. So you see here, he had 65 solo tackles. He had 6 assists. He even had a forced fumble. Another positive note, he had 19 stops. I said, I'm rooting for Regina, supporting you guys for great content is what I do. Facts, and I do appreciate you for that, my guy. I appreciate you for the love and the support. We need a DC. He need a DC that's how to use his skill set. I agree with you, man. He got good physical skills, but he has not put it all together just yet. All right, so let's take a look at more of his stats. He allowed about 15.5 yards of reception, so he was giving up some big plays. Looks like. Only had 1 interception. And he had allowed a pass rating of 97 when targeted. Right, so it wasn't great. Yeah, we got nothing but love for my boy Dwayne Brown, man. He always shows love to the channel. He stayed rocking out with me, so I know I appreciate him for everything he does for us, man. And also, if y'all cannot participate in the raffle, liking the content, sharing the content, subscribing to the channel, that also helps out a lot. So whatever you can do is greatly appreciated. But I like trying to help and give back because y'all do support me. So I always want to try and give back. The raffle been going great, so I think I'm gonna do a raffle every month. I think I'll raffle off a jersey every month. When it get closer to time for the season, I'm a raffle off a ticket. I decided y'all did so well with this raffle. I'm gonna eventually get to the point where I want to give out a Dallas Cowboys ticket so y'all can go to the game and support in real life. So we'll do a couple more jersey raffles, and then we'll do a raffle for a ticket. Once they go on sale. I think they go on sale in July. So May, June, we'll be doing some more jerseys, and then once tickets go on sale, I'm gonna buy a ticket and raffle it off. Jameson Taylor, what's good with you, my boy? I appreciate you for coming through and showing love to the channel. I definitely do. God bless you. But yeah, so let me pull up a little bit more of Jeff Okudah's stats, because his entire career has not lived up to his draft billing just yet. I like him though, but we're just comparing what we're comparing. They made a play for the same position for the same draft capital, so we're just gonna look at it, man. And here lies the problem down here. These are his overall grades. 2020, he was abysmal. His coverage grade was a 30.9 in 460 total snaps. He had a 11.1 missed tackle percentage, which is horrible. He was targeted 50 times in 2020 and gave up 38 catches. There's a 76% completion percentage when targeted. He gave up 579 yards. Then he also gave up an average of 15.2 yards a catch. He didn't give up a lot of touchdowns, but he was getting towed up. All right. 2021, he got injured. He didn't play the entire season. Still only graded as a 53 in coverage. Still, and these, of course, these numbers are skewed, man, because he was only targeted 3 times. He gave up 2 catches, 66, and he gave up 86 yards on 2 catches. So this big ass number right here, 43 yards a catch, is very misleading. Right, he only gave up 2 catches, but those 2 catches were for 86 yards, so it averaged out to 43 yards a catch that year. So damn. He said my Braves are winning. That's what's up, man. Shout out to your Braves, man. I don't watch baseball, but I'm glad your team winning. And then when you look down here, this last year, like I said, 65 targets, 40 receptions, allowed a 61.5 catch percentage, gave us 621 yards. So when you compare that to what Gilmore did, man, it's night and day. So yes, you can say that Okudah has upside. He got physical skills. He's a former 3rd overall pick. This, that, and the 3rd. But the Dallas Cowboys did the right thing. Dwayne Brown said, "Go Cardinals." Okay. Cause I ain't got a baseball team at all, man. Like my dad watched baseball, but I can never get into it. But yeah, man. I just wanted to jump on and give y'all some quick work real quick. Just want to give y'all my insight into Devin White, my insight into this Jeff Okudah trade that happened. And I appreciate y'all for coming through, showing love to the channel, rocking with your boy, coming into the liquor store. And remember, I always tell my guys to drink and drive responsibly. But if you see an Eagles fan in the middle of the road, you do have my permission to slap these shit out of their ass. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to get at y'all later. God bless.